Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Rockstar Doctor Life. In this particular growth series, I thought it would be absolutely important to talk to today's guest. Dr. Walter Salubro has been on the show before. I will link his previous episode. It was episode 102 back in 2018. Back then, he had started, his YouTube channel was doing really well. He had some great tips for you in that show. But since then, he has taken off. He's now teaching other practitioners what to be doing. And I thought that for those of you interested in expanding online and expanding into the world of video, Dr. Walter would be a great resource for us to chat with. So thanks for coming back to join me.
I'm happy to be here, and thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Why don't you just give us a quick update on life right now as Dr. Walter? Like where you're practicing, family, and then we'll dive into your experience with YouTube.
Well, right now, almost 10 years married. In October will be a 10th year anniversary, which is phenomenal.
Yes.
Two daughters, Valentina, who's 7, and she just lost like 2 teeth in 1 week.
It's a great look for kids. That
oh my God.
It's
so cute, to be honest. And then Victoria's 5, my wife's Micheline. And so that keeps us busy, of course. I'm still practicing. So I'm full-time practicing chiropractor. As much as I love multimedia and digital media, like I can't leave chiropractic. Like I love being a chiropractor for a lot of reasons we can talk about later on. And then I love doing video marketing. I've always liked video, even when I was younger, way before I was a chiropractor. I don't know why. So I saw what worked on my YouTube channel over the years. And I realized not many chiropractors tapped into that, or not just chiropractors, but also health professionals, at least very well. So I thought it'd be a good idea to at least share with others what worked for me, so maybe it can work for them as well. So right now I'm running an agency, which I never thought I'd get into. And maybe we can talk about why I got into it, which means that we handle other doctors and other health practitioners' channels for them. Probably because they just can't do it themselves because of timing, or whether it's timing to execute or timing to learn. So that's where I'm at. So some nights I have very little sleep, to be honest, because I'm doing so much. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Well, these are times of hustle, right? There's times of hustle and times of flow, I think. And when you're growing a new business or expanding, there's usually some dramatic shifts in our energy expenditure. Yes, we absolutely will get into how that's going to happen. But, you know, the interesting thing, right off the hop, I can tell you why Docs want an agency, because I love creating content. I love audio content. I love video content too, but I don't like doing any of the behind the scenes stuff. I have always paid for production. And, I've learned some of the marketing stuff, but I pay other people to do this as much as possible, because it's not where I love to spend my energy and it's not my skill set. So I don't blame them for wanting to pick your brain or have you do it for them. But let's just dial back a little bit as to why you fell in love with video for your practice.
So that's interesting because, so going back to the beginning, so I think my first ever launch into online was with a website, a blog site. Actually, never even thought about videos. I was afraid to be on video, to be honest. Actually, this may sound shocking, but I'm a natural born introvert. I like being in my own space, and I'm okay with that. I can be social when I have to. So speaking on stages and being in front of video, sometimes can be a little scary, but I had to break through that. So the blog site worked okay. It helped get some SEO. And then I started dabbling into Facebook and other things. And I realized that the future was video, no matter what. All the trends were going towards video. And then I just realized that YouTube was, at the time, the best platform to be on for a lot of reasons. I think other platforms all have their usefulness, of course. My philosophy was just pick one, master it, and run with it. And for me, that was YouTube. So that was long form content. People were searching. The algorithm does its job as well. And then so comparing because I was doing a lot of blogging before, and I think there's a lot of value to blogging for a lot of reasons. But I always have this comparison. I can't tell you one person that came into my office because they read a blog article, not one. But I can tell you 200 people plus that watch my videos and have come in. So my people, your people, our people, they're watching videos. They're not so much reading articles out there. So that's why I stuck to video, and I just ran with it.
There's absolutely a personal connection, right? That people see, and when 100%. They see and hear you and they understand, especially with docs, like knowledge, passion, purpose, information. I think it's a really warm way. And I think for me, when I had a television show in this community, there was definitely some people that came in, but patients just loved that I did it. They were just like, oh, she's our local celebrity. I'm like, Not really, but if you think that way and it adds to my authority and my credibility,
100%.
it's never a bad thing when you're trying to help people understand how to become healthier.
For sure.
I love what you said though about starting off being unsure and being, naturally more introverted. I
Mhm.
think in some ways, and you correct me if I'm wrong or how you feel about this, but when you're doing, video in front of a camera, it's a little bit easier because there's no actual audience, right?
Mhm.
Like you are putting yourself out there, so to speak, but you're not actually dealing with 100 people in a room. So
Mhm.
I think for some people, it may be a good bridge depending on how they feel with public speaking. But how did you initially get over your frustration, your fear, your insecurity around putting yourself out there on video when you don't feel it comes to you naturally?
Yeah. So I remember this vividly. So my worries were, what are people going to think about me? What are other chiropractors going to think about me? What's the regulatory body going to say? All these things,
All
right?
valid questions.
It's like, what the heck, right? So I played it safe, with my topics and stuff. And I mean, I always my topics are always in my scope of practice, so I'm not worried about that. Um, and then when I started to map out my first real video that I really want to, intentionally map out, it took me about 4 hours to get it done. I was monotonous. The whole bottom line is just press the button and talk. That's it. That's what I had to do. I just had to press the button and talk, no matter how I felt.
Mhm.
That wasn't as bad as doing my first ever live Facebook video.
Oh,
back in that time there as well. I
yeah.
swear I circled the tripod for 30 minutes, pacing around it. Like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna do this live? It's gonna be, I can't erase any mistakes, but I
Mhm.
just did it. And then I did 5 live videos over the course of 5 days, and then the rest is history. So it's just the most important way to overcome that fear is just do it. There's no better coaching or therapy or nothing. Just execute and do it, and then just course correct and um, um, get better with each time you execute.
Yeah, it's like that standard 10,000 hours. I mean, I'm not sure
Yeah,
if you ever go back and look at your first videos compared
once
to
in a while.
now. When I think about, again, when I was first doing television or first podcasting, as you know, like I'm just doing this series of the show now after not recording these interviews for 2 years. And I feel like right back at it, like no problem. And it's because I had 7 years of weekly, like a lot of content. And it's that practice always helps us develop
Mhm.
any skill. But like, do you have any habits or tips or tricks that help you get focused, prepared? Like, let's talk specifics. Do you have a script that you follow? Do you use prompters? Do you have like, I don't know, any rituals? Because I usually have a few before I do a
Mhm.
podcast or anything video, but I'd love to hear how you get yourself ready.
So it depends on what I'm doing. So sometimes I find that the best content that I produce is from inspiration. So let's say something happened in the office, someone said something, or a condition that someone's dealing with and they were misled elsewhere. Then I get passionate and fired up about that. And I just turn on my phone and I start talking.
Mhm.
So that's one way. But there's some times where I actually research the topic. Okay, so what's out there that's working on competitor channels? What's working for their titles? What's working for their hooks? Now let me map my own content based on what other people's content is doing, and then but make it my way, and then structure my video based on that. So there's a variety of different ways that I do it.
Mhm.
It's not the same all the time.
Mhm.
And then in terms of no matter which way I do it, whether it's in the moment or it's planned out and scripted, there is a structure. So you have to hook your audience right away. I know you know this. Hook them right away,
Mhm.
the first 10 seconds, and then tell them what the video's about, and then let them know what to expect in the video. And then after that, just deliver your promise.
Mhm.
And then that's the basic structure with every video.
Yeah.
Yeah, the basic
Yeah, I love
foundation.
that you said that because, so many times we get on video and I've done this before and I've had to correct it or just delete the video where you start inspired and you've got your idea
Mhm.
of what you want to say and then you end
Yeah.
up a whole other direction.
Mhm.
And you gotta kind of bring it back because you'll just lose people, especially if it's a short video. So I think
Yeah.
having your framework.
Yeah.
Now, do you recommend that docs have like a couple of different ways they start their videos or wrap up like a call to action or flex it with time? Like, do you recommend that they try different, I guess like test them to see what
Mhm.
gets more traction?
For sure. Yeah. So especially test your hooks, test the first 3 to 4 sentences that you say. That's what I'm doing right now with my videos and my client videos right now.
Hmm.
One of the best ways to figure that out is go back to your analytics, see the
Hmm.
videos that have high views, high retention in the first 30 seconds. What did you say in that video? And then just repeat that framework in your future videos.
Hmm.
So that's one way. And then in terms of hooks, or in terms of call to actions, they're the same all the time for me. Like and share, comment, let me know what you thought about the video, and then subscribe. It's just a matter of where you place them in the video. So you can place them in different areas depending on how you want to do that.
Yeah. So are you saying that what you're doing right now is, let's say for 3 videos that you're creating, 3 different topics, but your opening 10 seconds are the same for everyone?
The same concept. So let's say for example, I want to test out, I'm calling out the pain and struggles that they're going through. So then that may be the start. Okay? But then another set, I may actually test out asking a question. That may be the start. And then see which one gives you the higher retention in those first 20 to 30 seconds. So that's just one idea.
Yeah. I think that, what often helps me is obviously having hydration, having some kind of framework and ideas. I love what you said too about sometimes you just hit with something inspiring, like something has happened in the office, a great story, a great feedback, and it just, it's a piece of wisdom that would benefit others. Do you think there is a difference when people are creating content? I know we're talking about YouTube specifically, which is longer form video. But, I've given clients feedback around the types of videos that you should do for Instagram Reels and stories versus what you should create for different videos. I'd love to get your take on that, because I feel that they should have a different feel and different personality to them. And one can maybe be more edited than the other.
Yeah, I think every platform has their own native cadence or feel, that, like you said.
Yeah.
Even YouTube has even changed over the years on how people deliver. It is longer content. You have to deliver a bit more value you have to retain people over a longer period of time. Figuring out that amount of time is also a sweet spot that you need to determine as well. But if you're editing for TikTok, it's going to be quite different than YouTube. If you're editing for Facebook, or even your commentary is going to be quite different. The best way to figure that out also is just to see what's working for other creators in your space, in your niche, and just model them, because they've proven that it's worked. So if there's an editing style that works, then you model that. If there's a caption style that works, you model that. Doesn't mean you're copying, you're just modeling what works. So those are the best ways to do that, for sure.
And I think it also leads into the idea of repurposing your content, right?
Yeah, so that's another point. So that's what we do. We repurpose content. I think it's good for the everyday, doctor and entrepreneur. But the ideal way is to create specific content for specific platforms. That's the ideal way. So that's the next level. But the easiest way is take your long form video. Let's say you have 5 talking points, and then you clip them into vertical videos. And then you have now 5, let's say 1 minute to 1.5 minute vertical videos that you can now multi-purpose everywhere. So that works. It still works, but nothing. Yeah.
And are there, I know you guys do this for people, but are there like great resources that docs can start to use, like that will do that for you? So let's say I create a video on Zoom or on my QuickTime on my MacBook here, and it's horizontal like this, and I wanted to do what you said. Instagram, TikTok, they've all kinds of apps and stuff. Are there anything that docs can investigate if they wanted to start doing that themselves?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we use Opus. Have you heard of Opus?
I have not, no.
Opus.io, or it's OPUS. Okay. It's a great app. So you basically plug in your YouTube URL, or you upload your video, and then it'll splice up the videos for you into multiple verticals. And then it'll try to pick the highest probability of virality, but I don't trust that, to be honest. But then you go in there, you edit the captions, and you make some edits, and then you have your repurposed video content. You can also schedule those short form videos on other platforms through Opus as well. So that's one of the apps that we use. That's just one. I'm sure there's others out there. I like that one because there's less work to be done. So you take your long form content, whether it's the file or the URL, and then it does it for you. Some other ones, you have to splice the video first and then get the captions done. So I like that one a lot.
Are you seeing, when you happen to see other people's videos or things that they create, or maybe even your own clients, like, are there any tips that you would encourage people, like mistakes, like you're like, okay, everyone, like, don't do this, like, don't get too close to the mic, or don't get too far from the mic, or lighting, like, do you have any things that you've seen are consistent mistakes that people make?
To be honest, one of the most common mistakes I see is they don't express their passion or their energy. That's the biggest one. And I think that's the hardest thing to train people on, because it's personality as well. But I think it can also be learned if they know. So if you take two instances, you just talk in a normal, monotonous tone with no inflection and deliver content, and then you take another one where you're fully animated, you're moving, you're showing stuff, you're going to retain the person way more on the second one. Okay. Sorry for the
Yeah.
chainsaw.
Yeah.
So the delivery is just as important, because it's almost intangible, just as important as all the other technical stuff that goes in actually creating the video content. So, and
Don't be
also,
boring.
yeah, 100%. And then
Yeah.
so one of the most common things I get told from either people on my comments on YouTube or when they come to my office is they say, I love your passion, I love your energy. Like they feel attracted to that energy because they haven't seen it before, especially a practitioner, right? So that's super important, to be passionate, energetic. That's the most common thing I tell my clients when they're filming videos that we edit for them, is just be a bit more energetic. Get pissed off sometimes. Like if you're upset about something, project that. If you're sad about something, project that tone. Just be a bit more animated, authentically, but be more animated.
I couldn't agree more. I
Yeah.
think that well, energy is palpable, right? And part
Yeah.
of the reason I was so excited to start having conversations with chiropractors again after the past few years of coaching and working with other healthcare professionals who were all also amazing people and great work. But for me, like there's nothing like the heart of chiropractors. And when they're really excited about the miracles that we see and the healing kind of work that we see by chiropractic care, that's what I think people need to capture too. And I really would love docs to just like own that.
For
Whatever
sure.
kind of practice style you have,
Yeah.
whatever technique you use,
Yeah.
own what you do really well and find your way to get inspired about that. And if
Mhm.
you're not feeling that kind of certainty or enthusiasm, maybe that's where you need to start rather than getting in front of a camera.
100%, for sure.
Yeah. What keeps you inspired?
I don't know. I think about that often. I like to do stuff.
Yeah.
I like to be busy. I like to create. I'm very creative. In terms of when I say creative, if you ask me to draw something, I suck at drawing. Okay. My kids
Right.
are better drawers. I have some of their stuff here, but I like to um, still be creative and solve problems and help people. Um, I think the biggest thing is just helping people. I think that's what
Yeah.
it is, whether it's in chiropractic or in helping people with their video marketing, or the things that I'm passionate about that I've seen has worked for me. I want to see it work for other people. That's the biggest thing that inspires me, to be honest.
Well, I think I've seen that, in action firsthand, where you've had people comment on your videos
Mm-hmm.
that don't even live near you. They live
Mm-hmm.
in another country,
Mm-hmm.
but they are inspired to seek chiropractic care for their back pain or whatever,
Yeah.
and you're willing to direct them
Yeah.
to other people. And that's a really, it's a beautiful thing for you to be
Mm-hmm.
able to contribute to other practices that way.
Yeah, it actually is. I get calls like that and emails every day. Actually, someone messaged me on YouTube yesterday. He lives in Bradford, which is just north of here where I practice. Says, I want to come to Bonn, but it's a bit further down. Do you know someone that's closer? I go, no
Hmm.
problem. So I know someone that does corrective care in Newmarket. Anyways, he
Hmm.
called today. He actually called. I picked up the phone. He goes, I want to cancel my appointment for Tuesday. I didn't know it was the same guy. He goes, because, I go, who is this? He goes, it's the guy you referred to Newmarket. I go, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
anyways, but, to be able to find, so the vision is not just having people have come to your office. I know that's part of it. I get that, but it's really rewarding to know that there's people out there that's watching your content and somehow, some way, their life got affected, whether it was from the tips they heard on the videos, or because they went and saw a chiropractor, or because they got an X-ray and they never got an X-ray before. They learned something new that they never did before. That to me is very, very rewarding. That's probably the most rewarding part of all this.
yeah. But now, speaking of comments, have you ever had comments that were, okay, you're a quack, or you don't know what you're talking about, or anything negative? And
Yeah,
how have you navigated that? Because I'll be honest, that's part of, like, I disable them on my videos because
yeah.
I don't want the trauma. And maybe that's I don't want to be vulnerable like that or something, but I'm just like, I don't need the headache. And you just hear such horror stories of people, yeah, just dealing with that kind of negativity. Have you ever had any challenges like that?
Yeah. So they're not. I've had those, but they're not challenging. I'll tell you why. So first of all, I moderate all my comments. So number one tip for commentary on YouTube: go into your settings, hold every comment, which means they don't get posted. So now
Okay.
you have the chance to review it. So the way I look at comments is, the comment was directed at me. I have now the decision to make whether I want to publicize that or not. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So if they told me that this person's a salesperson, crappy chiropractor, don't trust him. Okay, you made your point, and I just delete it. Done.
Right.
I don't look for confrontations. That's not my fight. So I don't look for
No.
confrontations. If they don't get it, too bad for them. And then
Mm.
usually, if it's someone that's really derogatory, then I'll just put it down as spam or block them, and then they don't comment ever again on my YouTube channel.
Right.
So that's what I do with that. On Facebook, I just hide the comment. So
Yeah.
it's simple.
So one of your tips is definitely to, I mean, it's some of the things we've
Yeah.
talked about so far today is get prepared, use your
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
We've also talked about like doing this with the comments, like being able to moderate your comments.
Modern.
What are some other like sort of pro tips if you had anything that comes to mind? I know that, obviously we want to give docs a chance to go to some of your resources and
Sure.
possibly work with you, but not everyone has that interest or budget. So I always like to give people some practical things that they can
Mhm.
work with on their own.
So for sure. So I think number one is, I think it's with anything. If you're going to become a content creator, you're going to become a content creator. So like this is not like a part-time gig. Like it doesn't. I'm just talking like even for a business owner, right? If you're
Yeah,
going to start making content, it's not a one-off thing. Decide
right.
you're going to be a content creator and just start putting out content. That's it. Number one. Then you have to decide what kind of content you want to do. What's your topic? So if you're family health, family wellness, then that's your niche. You talk about the things that you're doing in your office that helps people. That's actually the most important thing I can tell people, because people always tell me, well, what I talk about. So what I say is, look at the last 20 files, last 20 patients that came to your office. What did
Mm-hmm.
they come to you for? Those are your video topics. And what do
Mm-hmm.
you do to help them? And that's how you help them. So just make content about that. So it's not that complicated. So now you're making content in the space and the topics that you're interested about. So now you're passionate about. You have real stories to share. And then you're attracting those people into your office even more. So be intentional.
Yeah.
Talk about the stuff that you are already doing. So basic stuff. I know you know this. I know you know. So who do you help?
Mm-hmm.
How do you help them? And then just show them. Make it
Mm-hmm.
really simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what you said there about coming up with topics. That's what I would recommend people do too.
Yeah.
I said like, and I even like to streamline it even more. I'm like, if you don't want to create any content, if you don't want to label yourself a content creator,
Mhm.
even just to create one piece of content every month
Mhm.
and take that one piece. So whatever it's going to be, maybe it's headaches.
Mhm.
Then, right, do a video about headaches and how your adjustments help headaches. And then you can have that, transcribed and you
Mhm.
can make it into a blog post and then you
Yeah.
can take your little snippets. You don't have to go overboard with creating multiple pieces of content. You can actually still simplify it and even have members of your team do it.
For sure.
And that way I feel sometimes that can help docs from becoming overwhelmed with the idea
Yeah.
of it, because
Yeah.
I feel like that may be part of people's hesitation, right?
Mhm.
Not only do they not necessarily feel comfortable on camera or doing video, but it's I want to grow my practice, but oh gosh, I got to do all these things.
Mhm.
And as you have a young family, you
Mhm.
said you're not getting a lot of sleep, like there's only so many hours. So
Yeah.
if people can repurpose, content in multiple ways, I think they get more value out of it too.
For sure, I agree. And also, you could hire like freelance social media people on Fiverr or Upworks
Yeah.
for a pretty affordable pricing as well. That can help you with that. Very simple. And once you train them on your way to do things, in a few
Yeah.
months they have it and they have the system down. It makes it really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, talking about growth, like I know we did mention that you see growth you were referring to other offices.
Mm.
Like, how has this translated into growth of your practice over the last few years?
So it's interesting. So there's been YouTube is not like running Facebook ads. I say that to everybody. If you
Mm-hmm.
want 30 new people in your office this month, go run your Facebook ads. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a different topic. We talk about that.
Totally different topic. Yeah.
So it's not like that. So YouTube
Yeah.
is establishing yourself as an authority and a brand in the online space.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. So you're going to get patients at some point. I don't know when that's going to happen. That's what I tell everybody. It can be a few weeks. It can be a few months. It can be a few years. I have no idea. I've been working with a guy for over a year and a half. He did my 5-day challenge. He did the coaching. Now he's doing my agency as an agency client. And he got like 1 new patient last year and then 2 MVA patients last week, and they
Mm-hmm.
both started care. So, but once it starts, it kind of just starts. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's that part. So, but it's super valuable when that actually kicks in. The most important thing, in my opinion, is when YouTube, in my opinion, and I think it's all video marketing, it has the ability to create a lot of credibility for you, tons,
Mm-hmm.
and a
Mm-hmm.
level of authority, and elevate your level of trust way before the person ever meets you personally. So now the person comes into your office, they saw your 5, 6, 7 topics that you did, and they know that you're it. And
Mm-hmm.
now you have to be that person. Okay. So I remember when my first disc bulge patients were coming in, and I go, holy crap, I gotta know how to deal with this. Like I would see back pain and sciatica, but not a true disc herniation patient. And I
Right.
had to figure it out. And I figured out. Now a person comes in and they're on the floor in baby pose on day 4 because they have so much pain in their sciatica, and they're asking me when it's going to get better. I can confidently tell them what I believe the progress is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So it elevates that level of authority in your mind when people know that you're the person because they saw your
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And that to me is intangible, but super valuable.
Oh, I could
Yeah.
not agree more. And also, even for the, we're required, all chiropractors are required wherever you live to do your
Mhm.
continuing education.
Yeah.
But what better way to get motivated to stay on top of it
Yeah.
than to have to,
For
increase
sure.
your skills because of
Yeah.
something you said in a video. I
Yeah.
think it's great for that too. And it keeps me
Yeah.
fresh. I find that
Yeah.
I hear something new on a podcast. I'm like, oh, yesterday, for example, I listened to a podcast on cartilage and aging. I'm like, oh, I got to do a video about this,
Hmm.
or use it in the practice somehow so people understand how they can support their cartilage, from not
Hmm.
degenerating. And I like what you said too about, just the simplicity of like, it's not like running ads, but over
Hmm.
time, I mean, I got videos, I look back and I
Hmm.
keep some of the old ones up because I started liking doing video like way back when it was, remember the flip cameras?
Yeah.
Like I would literally like do it. My kids were at school and I found that just, no scripting, nothing. Like
Hmm.
I would build my practice that way because it
Hmm.
was something I could do when my kids were not around. And
For
I didn't
sure.
want to go to screenings and I didn't want to go to events
Yeah.
all the time because I just didn't have that time in my
Hmm.
life. But I was able to communicate what I knew and help people. And
Hmm.
absolutely it built things. And they just kind of build traction over time. Same with podcasting, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah. I see lots of similarities. One more thing I want to add about the intangible is I've noticed that the patients that are coming in, they're not so much looking for a chiropractor, but they're looking
Hmm.
for you and what you have to offer them because they haven't seen it anywhere else. Based on
Yeah.
how we, so they're coming because of what they've seen on the videos and they want that because they've already been to 5 other chiropractors. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So what they're looking for is they have a problem and looking for a solution, and they see you as a solution, and that authority has been established because of your content and what you've shown them. And going
Hmm.
back to what you're saying, you continue education, 100% true. Because I never talk about something on YouTube that I can't back up.
Right.
Okay, but, and also, I mean, I'm advanced certified in chiropractic biophysics, so there's a lot of accountability. I'm not going to say something that can't be backed up or doesn't fall within our parameters that things that we do. So that to me
Yeah.
is super important. So a lot of things in terms of like certain exercises or certain things that are done out there on YouTube just to get views, like
Hmm.
I just won't do that just because I know it's going to get a lot of views. So
Yeah.
that's very
Well,
important
I
to me.
also do the trick on a trick, and I think that was a good thing to mention. Thank you. Like
Yeah.
listeners, like make sure that you look into what
Yeah.
you are allowed, how you're allowed to advertise according to
Hmm.
your governing bodies, so that you don't get any hassles or into any trouble that way. Um, I want to talk about how they help retention because what I'll sometimes do with my videos is if I'm talking about something and I'm just kind of you know, like brain dumping it, like because I got inspired about something and I want my practice community to know it, but not necessarily the general public. I will just unlist that video and add it to, I think I'll still go onto the playlist or something. So then
Hmm.
I can send it out to my patients in a newsletter. They can
For
read it. It's
sure.
like a private little message
Yeah.
to them on a topic. And
Yeah.
that to me has been a comfortable way to sometimes not deal with everything and having to be well versed on the current research on a certain topic that comes to mind in practice, like how much water you
Hmm.
should drink. Like, you know what I'm
Hmm.
talking about? Like, there's all these
Yeah.
little things that if we're going to be to the public, you want to present yourself well and know your stuff. Where if it's to your practice community, you want to still do that, but you're not looking at getting any criticism from the general public.
Yeah. That's a good point. Another thing about unlisted videos, and I see this a lot of as a mistake when I audit people's channels, they're posting everything on there, like their gift of health program. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
they did their little promotional thing, or they did this, and none of that has any value or bearing to the people that are watching stuff on YouTube. So make all that stuff unlisted, or just take it down if it's over.
Yeah.
Um, you know, anything that's unrelevant to your channel's idea or topic is going to hurt the reach big time. So using the
Yeah.
unlisted function, whether it's for your email drip or your patient content stuff or other stuff, make it unlisted. That's a good point for sure.
Yeah. I mean, and just so people who
Yeah.
don't maybe use YouTube know what we're talking about, when you
Yeah.
upload a video, you're going to get a couple options. One is to make it public, one is to
Mhm.
make it unlisted, the other is to make it private,
Yeah.
and I've used all of those for different things because when I've done group coaching programs and stuff,
Hmm.
like I've put the videos in there because they need to be hosted
For
somewhere,
sure. For
but
sure.
they're paid content for people. So there's
Yeah.
lots of different like ways to be using YouTube
Yeah.
for adding value to your practice, growing your practice.
For
But let's
sure.
talk about retention. I mean, I'm sure your patients see your videos and they understand the quality of your care more, or maybe
Mhm.
the series of exercises that help them get better results. Let's not overlook, like, sure, it can grow your practice with new people, but I think there's
Mhm.
a massive value in connecting and keeping your people with you.
Yeah, if you have topics that, especially, like, not all my topics are relatable to all my patients, to be honest. But if they are, then you send them to your patient list, and that, I think,
Hmm.
it can definitely help with retention for sure. Another
Hmm.
thing too is they like to see that you're contributing. They like to see that you're helping people. They like to see that you're doing stuff, that is useful not just for them but for other people. So that, I think, can help as well. Yeah, for sure.
Hmm. So what's next for you?
For it's a good.
You've got a busy practice.
Yeah.
You're doing videos for your own practice.
Hmm.
You're helping other people with their videos. If people want to learn more
Hmm.
about how to work with you, about any of your ideas, what would be a great way? We'll link in the show notes your YouTube channel, because I
That's
think
fine.
just
Yeah, yeah, for
watching
sure,
that
for
would be a
sure.
great thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, how else could people learn what you're up to?
So, I mean, the best way is, I'm always open to helping people, even just like if they have a question. Like, I help many people. If they have any questions, you have any clarity or something like that. Just the best way is just message me on Facebook. So I'll go to my personal, sorry, not yeah, on my personal profile, Walter Salubro. Just
Yeah.
send me a message and I'll connect with you through Messenger. No problem, 100%. Um, yeah, if someone needs any tips on YouTube growth, I don't mind helping them. Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to commend you for, I mean, you've essentially learned all of this yourself.
All of it. I mean, I've done a lot through trial and error. I've
Yeah.
taken a couple courses, and then I learned a lot from other creators on YouTube as well.
Hmm.
Everything is out there. Like, everything you need to know is out there. It's just a matter of going through that. So even to this day, I'm still watching other YouTube creators teach about YouTube because I know
Right.
I can pick something up, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's all been done through trial and error, all of it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so I want to commend you for that, because not only have you had the passion to do this, but I know that you've helped a lot of docs,
Hmm.
inspired hundreds and hundreds and
Yeah.
hundreds, thousands of people with the videos that you've created all over the world. And, you've done this while maintaining and growing your own practice and your
Hmm.
own family. So, I want to acknowledge you for that. I think that's really amazing. And I'm happy that you were able to take some time and share with us some of your tips today.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I love being here.
Do you have any sort of final thoughts? I mean, if someone's listening to this and they're like, oh, yeah, that sounds really good. I should, but should I do it? Like, I don't know. Like, someone's going to hear this today and maybe they
Hmm.
have a great YouTube channel, or someone's going to be listening to this today and think, oh, maybe I should do that
Hmm.
and add it to my list. So for those docs listening today, I don't know what your burning question would be that we haven't covered, because I think we've
Hmm.
covered a lot of ground here. But what would be kind of your final thoughts if someone's on the fence, but whether they should use YouTube in
Hmm.
their practice or not?
So I think the question is, should they be using YouTube? I think they have to be using YouTube one way or another.
Okay.
That's my thing. Yeah. I mean, all content is going almost virtually video, especially for our patient base. That's what they're watching.
Hmm.
It's a free resource. Okay. It's a free
Hmm.
resource. Pretty soon it's going to take over the TV connected streaming apps. So it's already surpassed
Yeah.
Netflix a couple times. It's like having your own TV station. I mean, there's nothing better if you think about it. And it's always there.
Yeah.
It's always there. It's not like Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram where the feed changes every day. It's always there.
Yeah.
It's searchable. It's recommended. It's a free resource. So it doesn't matter if, like you said, if you do one video a week, one video a month, once every 2 months, you need something on YouTube to tell people who you are, what you do, and leave a legacy. So bare minimum, do something.
Yeah.
Don't make it complicated. Simplify. And the easiest thing to do is just talk about things that you're passionate about. Talk about things that you know, right?
Yeah.
The rest can all be figured out, but just start by talking about things that you know. It's who do you help? How do you help them? And show them how you do it. It's
Yeah.
simple, right? And then from there, it just takes off from there, right?
Yeah, and I liked what you said earlier too about looking at the last 25 conversations that you have. What
Yeah.
I'll often do is I'll just keep a file on my
Mhm.
laptop of like
Mhm.
topics,
Mhm.
content topics, and
Mhm.
things that, people say, so that I have a place to draw some ideas from when I'm ready to do a video if I
Mhm.
need to.
For
What do you
sure.
think about like any kind of production? Like, do you produce your videos on a schedule? Do you just do them whenever you feel like it? Do you have like a planning, do you do a bunch
That's
for the month? Like,
Yeah,
what's your
so
workflow?
I've done it all. So so right now I do it when I feel like it. It might not be the best way. It's just based on what works for me.
Yeah.
I think if you schedule them out, they're better. YouTube likes where there's a cadence or some kind of schedule format. In the end, it doesn't matter, to be honest. I've seen it
Right.
all over the place. What matters is you're getting content out. Get content
Right.
out consistently. Even Mr. Beast, if you follow Mr. Beast, who has a #1 channel right now,
Mm.
people say, well, what time should I post? There's certain times that are more than others. He goes, just get it out there. Don't worry about it. Just get the
Right.
video out there. And the algorithm will figure it out for you. And then once that video is done, you start planning your next video and just get it out there. So it's useful to schedule. And I think the schedule, because I teach that also in my 5-day challenge when I was doing it, it's good for someone that hasn't started yet and they need some kind of time management and some kind of accountability. So they'll say every Wednesday I'm going to film, every Friday I'm going to edit, and then every Saturday morning I'm going to upload, right?
Right.
So, or every Friday I'm going to do my filming, so batch filming, and then the next Friday I'll do my batch editing, and the next Friday I'll do my batch uploading, whatever. So if someone needs help to structure their time management to get them started, I think can be very useful. But after that, just produce content whenever you can produce content.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. So are you saying schedule, like do the videos and then you can schedule them right within the platform?
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So then you could actually, like today, you know, the lighting in here is really good for me. You know, it's a good time of day. I've got the time. Sometimes what I'll do is I will change my clothes and I'll just do a couple of different videos the
That's
same
awesome.
time. When I've created training programs, that's how we've done it. It's just been like, you know, one after the other because you kind of get in a flow.
Yeah.
Now how important do you think is the environment and your lighting and all these things? I think they're crucial because I think just like I see people doing podcasts and it bugs me sometimes because their audio is shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you producing that? Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to create an audio medium, it should sound good. So pay for some production or get some help. Same thing with video. Besides people being really boring and like you said, monotone and not owning their passion, there's obviously some ideas that you might want to share around how to create a good looking video.
Yeah, for sure. So I think the most important is video is also your audio. Because if you can have a little bit of crappy lighting and your background can suck, but if they can't hear you, they're not going to watch. So that's for sure. So get a good mic, and mics they're so much easier to deal with and so cheap compared to like even 10 years ago. But,
Yeah.
some good mics. So that's very important. Lighting is also very important as well. At the beginning, I didn't pay much attention to it because I was just starting off and I just wanted to get content out. But I use lighting every time. Don't complicate it. You can get really affordable box lighting stands. I use literally a shop light that's on my wall. It works.
Yeah.
Natural light is even better. I think you said
Yeah.
so. Natural light's even better. Sometimes I go in the front where there's a window. And then in terms of your set, I've tried different things. I've had like a curtain in the back. I like the idea of having a set in the back. Because I just feel like good about that, and I've been always wanted to have something nice with lights and blue. I have a vision of what it could look like. I don't think it matters to get views, and
No.
I don't think it matters.
Right.
But having a plain wall could work. If you have a poster in the back, if you're in your office, there's some background. All these things can help. Okay, it's just it's not the main thing. Yeah. So
I mean, having a plain wall or something like those people, if they're seeing the video right now, you could take the video of you and then you could add captions or you can use 100%. That blank space for anything kind of interesting.
You read my thoughts. I was going to say next. Yeah. So a lot of times when I had blank walls, I did this intentionally. I'll be off to the side and then I put all my captions over there. Yeah, I've done that many, many times.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm in agreement with you. I think that was wise that you said, like, I think the biggest things are for the sound and the lighting to be good. The free thing is natural light. So get yourself in front of a window. The light has to be coming towards you, not behind you. And otherwise just
if I can add on that.
Yeah.
That's talking about these things are good because eventually at some point you should get to this point. But in the beginning, just get started. Like I just had my little iPhone, or I had the flip cam also, or my iPhone eventually. I had no tripod, literally at the beginning.
Yeah.
I put yoga blocks and blocks on shelves. I got a ton of stuff that I was building up every single time. I did every time.
Let me just show everyone the format right now.
There you go. See, you see, I've done that over. I've even taken pictures of that. Eventually, I go, you know what? Maybe I should buy a tripod. It was like revolutionary. My first tripod was for a point and shoot camera, so it was too short. So I still have to elevate it on chairs. So you go through these learning curves, right? But in the beginning, just take your camera. And also, to be honest, if you just hold the phone, I know it's not the best. That's Ed's logo. See that? Plug it.
Yeah, I recognize that logo.
If you just hold the camera, right, just like that, and just talk, that'll still get the job done.
Yeah.
So one of my clients has their CAs hold the camera for them. It's not too technical. Just get the job done.
Yeah. And grow with it. I think that's, anyone that we've watched a lot of people grow their business and grow as humans, right? As they've, developed their abilities. So I think there's nothing wrong with starting with what you have, with where you're at, and people want to see you being yourself and being real.
Yeah, for sure.
So there actually is some credibility in just not being too polished. Being polished is what you say, but not having it all super
Yeah.
fancy when you're just getting started.
Yeah.
I think it's completely okay.
For sure. I mean, I'm comfortable speaking on camera, but I'm not polished at all. Go look at my videos. I do I pause. A lot of times I'm thinking about what I want to say. My first most popular video was partly done with a selfie stick and anatomical charts and anatomical spine models, and I'm shaking everywhere. And my second most popular video was done with me holding the phone like this.
Yeah.
So, and I even had comments of where people say, okay, your content is great, but please use the tripod.
You're making me dizzy.
Yeah. So I go, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But it works. So
yeah,
that's important.
So, I mean, before we wrap up here, like best resources that you would share, anything that you are inspired by these days, anything that's really helping you with your business. I know people have gotten a lot of information from what we've shared here.
There's a lot of resources online today, even more than it was like a few years ago. It depends what people are looking for, right? I like following Alex Hormozy.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for business and entrepreneurial stuff, it's very useful. I've used some of his material in my scripting as well, so that's very useful. So there's lots out there for sure. Yeah. So it depends what you're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. So just find something that inspires you and keep your fire alive.
Like if you're looking for video content, video marketing stuff, there's creators that have that. Like there's a lot of free information out there. If you're looking on how to use ChatGPT or AI, I'm sure you'll find something out there. So it depends on what you're looking for. Everything is out there that you need. It's all for free. Like if you have the time and the wherewithal to do it and learn it, it's all available.
Well, and I don't really want to go down this hole, but maybe we should. What about AI?
What about it? I love it. It's like every time I'm on ChatGPT and my wife's in the air, I go, it's the best invention I've ever seen.
All right.
Yeah. So I don't know how you feel about it.
I'm not a fan of any of it. I have a lot of concerns about it, but I know, I'm the anomaly in that. I don't think I'm like complete. I know there's people that feel the same way I do, but I'm very hesitant about it because of people, identity, stuff. So I think there's definitely ways to use it smartly for some of the business things that can make our lives easier.
I mean, it can help with ideation, so coming up with ideas. It can help with mapping out your content. It can help with, polishing up your titles, marketing. If you know how to use it and you learn how to use it, it can be very resourceful for you. It can get things done a lot faster than it can take a spreadsheet. You can literally copy and paste the image of a spreadsheet and tell it to analyze the numbers because it can read those numbers off an image. That's how amazing it is, in my opinion. So it depends how it's used. 100%. Yeah.
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 All right. Well, out of respect for your time, I want to thank you again for sharing your wisdom with us, and congrats on what you've built for yourself. I think it's amazing. Again, there's a lot of hustle involved in building a business.
For sure.
We know we're all aware of that being in practice, and you're doing some great work. So thanks for your time.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
And best way for people to connect with you further, this will be in the show notes, everyone. So just go down there and click it to connect with Walter. But is it through your YouTube channel or your website, your Facebook?
They can honestly just message me on Facebook. Is the quick. I'm always on my phone. I'm always have it accessible. So through my personal Facebook profile, Walter Salubro, you can get me. Yeah, direct message for sure.
Sounds great. All right. Have a great rest of your day with your family.
Thank you.
Okay. Ciao.